Hi, I'm with Toshiba, so I'm going to walk you through what I can. There's a lot to learn. You actually have the equipment as well as some software on the back end. So you're going to have your swipe card that you use now for security. You're also going to use to swipe to gain access to the machines, and also to use a feature called Follow Me Printing. So when you send your print jobs now, they're going to a central queue somewhere, and you can retrieve it from any copier. So if you walk up to one and someone's here doing 1,000 copies, you can go to the next one, swipe it, and retrieve your job there. Okay? The downside to that is they know what you're doing, so they're watching you. If you're going to do a gazillion color copies for your wedding, they're going to know, all right? So just keep in mind. All right, for now it's very simple. I'll show you. Actually, I'm going to use mine here. So you'll walk up. It uses this card, but it also uses the card that you guys have, okay? So you'll see that this screen pops up when you authenticate, okay? If you have print jobs in the queue, it's going to have them listed here. You're going to hit Select Jobs and select from a list. So once you're logged in like this, you can just press Copy, and you get to the copy screen. All right? One of the things, the first thing is, this is just like any copier you've ever used. You put the original in, you hit Start, and it makes a copy. Okay, so don't get overwhelmed at everything I show you today. If you want a copy, put it in, hit Start. All right? One thing that I see messing people up sometimes is they have a check or an odd size item that they're making a copy of. They put it in and the machine says, huh? It doesn't know what size paper you want it on. So all you have to do in that case, you put your check in, select a drawer so it knows what paper you want it on, and then hit Start. Okay? It asks you here, next original, so you can actually keep feeding it originals if you want as well. We just say job finish. One other big thing is this function clear button will actually set the machine back to default. So if someone before you said 1,000 copies, you walk up to the machine, put the original in, hit Start, it's going to do 1,000 copies until it resets. So it gives them like a minute or two to reset. So you're going to want to hit this function clear button. Or if you went in and pressed a bunch of things and just want to reset it. Okay? Function clear. For basic copying, 90% of what you're doing is really right here on the main screen. You can select a specific tray if you want to copy on a certain size. LT is letter, like this. LTR is an odd way of saying letter landscape. Okay? LG is legal, and LD is ledger. Okay? When you open these drawers up and put new paper in, you can see they're labeled right now, LT, LR, or if you can see around me anyway, LTR, LG, and LD. If you have an odd size paper, or like let's say you have blue paper, for example, I would recommend you use the bypass tray. Okay, the bypass tray is on the side here. So these trays here, you can squeeze the green button and move them. They're actually locked right now. This is a lock right here. Okay? And this one as well, squeeze and slide. All right, so what I'm going to do is put the paper back in. Just squeeze it, push it up tight here. Close this. Now see this screen here? It's basically just asking me, did you put the same paper in? Okay, it remembers what you told it last time. If it's the same paper, you're just hitting yes. And most of the time it is going to be the same paper. But if you say no, you can change it to thick. So let's say you load it up with heavy paper. You can put a 110-pound index in all the drawers of this machine. So that's the heaviest stock you can get at Staples. So if you're doing a large job with a lot of heavy stock, you can load the whole machine up, but just tell it thick 1. Okay? It's kind of experimentation. Thick 1 is real thick. I mean, thick 3 is real thick. So that it's really what works best for you. It's hard to nail down what works with what paper. All right, but we're just going to say it is plain because we left the same paper in there. And hit OK. All right, so every time you open a drawer and close it, you're going to get that message. Most of the time you're just saying, yeah, it's the same paper. Some other basic functions here. You're defaulted to black and white. There's full color and auto color. I would recommend, if you're making copy jobs, use auto color, not full color. And the reason that is if you have a few color pages in the stack it's going to count only those ones that are color as color. Okay? Full color assumes they're all color. All right? The only difference in functionality is it slows it down just a slight bit scanning, because it has to determine each page. Is this color, is this not? So again, black by default, auto color is what I would use in the case where you're doing color copying. Scanning, you don't get charged. So you can do color scanning as much as you want. Okay? This setting right here is for density. So you want to get a little darker, you just set it over this way, or lighter this way. Auto is the default. The zoom works pretty easily. If you hit the zoom button here, your original is letter size, and you want it on ledger. That's all you have to do. Select letter for your original, and ledger for your copy. Okay, and it does have the old-fashioned way. You can go up and down by percentage points. You could skip to 100%, 200%. Okay? It's going to automatically pull it from the ledger drawer, whatever drawer has ledger in it. Okay? It's the same thing with your print driver. You'll see when we show you the print. You just select the paper size. As long as it's in the machine, it will know where it is and pull from there. Finishing lets you do things like, now I'm going to change, this is a default that I should already be changed. I'm going to change this. It should be defaulted to sort here, okay? That means if you give it a 3-page job and you want 10 copies, it's going to come out 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you want to do stapling, this front staple is the one that most people use. That's just the top left corner here. Okay? You can do 2 staples on the left. You can do a rear staple, so let's say it's like a landscape job and you want it stapled here. They call that a rear staple. You've got hole punching. It does bind. It does booklet making, so it'll make a booklet like this and staple the pages together. I usually skip that the first time around. If anybody does a lot of that, let me know. We'll take a look at it individually, okay? This 1-to-1 simplex, or 2-sided here, this button, it's defaulted to single-sided. So if you feed it a bunch of originals here, it's assuming they're all single-sided, it's only scanning one side, okay? The way to switch that is go to 2-to-2. Okay, so that's assuming it's double-sided. There's also a delete blank page option. So if you have mixed single-sided and double-sided, and you want to either scan it or copy it, either way you can have it delete the blank pages, which is nice, especially for scanning, because you get back to your desk, you don't have to delete all those blank pages before you send out a PDF. And then you can also take single-sided pages and have them double up, save some paper. Okay, so that would be 1-to-2. And then same thing, 2-to-1 split is to take double-sided, split them on the single-sided. Okay? Not much, but if you do scanning, if you have high-quality scanning needs, you're going to scan photos, and you want them to look really nice, supposedly the photo mode creates better quality. Okay?